Supreme Court justices threatened and harassed outside their homes and while dining in restaurants. Pro-life centers and churches firebombed and vandalized. Are U.S. politicians inciting aggressive actions or even violence over the abortion issue?
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
Into the streets! Into the streets!
Why isn't the FBI and Department of Justice doing more to stop these targeted attacks? Well, our next guest believes pro-abortion politicians are declaring war on Christian pro-life pregnancy centers. Pastor Jim Harden is president and CEO of the CompassCare centers in the Buffalo area. One of those centers was firebombed early last month. First, Jim, please give us an update on the arson against your center in Amherst, New York. It's been about, 5 weeks now since that happened. Has there been an arrest? What's the FBI saying?
Well, the FBI isn't saying anything. There have been no arrests, and to our knowledge, there have been no arrests anywhere in the country, and no public reports, no press conferences. There has been no communications publicly to anywhere that we can see, and so we know that the FBI is working in conjunction with with local law enforcement, letting local law enforcement take the lead on the investigation. And we're hoping that they turn up someone, somewhere in America. But I think we're owed some communications.
Well, did you have security cameras there where they could see a suspect or?
Oh, yes. We have security cameras covering the entire perimeter of the facility. We have security footage of all points of penetration. So, yeah, we've got all that evidence.
Well, some people say this is the work of Jane's Revenge. So who's really responsible for this?
Well, Jane's Revenge is kind of the name of the pro-abortion domestic terrorist group that is fomenting the violence in their various cell groups throughout the country. We saw this activity ticking up in the Buffalo area against one of our medical offices there 2 weeks before we were firebombed. We actually reported it to local police and the FBI prior to being firebombed. And then on June 7th, we were at 2:30 in the morning, I got a call saying essentially that the glass had been broken and fires had been lit. This is, as I said then, I say now, the pro-abortion crystal knocked, and I'll keep saying it until we get some arrests.
So to what extent are our politicians complicit or maybe even encouraging this violence against pro-life Americans?
Well, pro-abortion politicians, they are definitely emboldening the violence. Not only are they refusing to criminalize the violence, they 6 days after we were firebombed, New York State Governor Hochul came out signing a bill not to investigate the arsonists, but to investigate us. And while she was at the press conference signing the bill, she referred to us as subhuman, calling us Neanderthals. And after that, there was this cascading kind of press PR campaign against pregnancy centers, an all-out war. The Biden administration came out on Friday, basically charging the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, to investigate the quote-unquote fraudulent practices of pregnancy centers. You have the Attorney General Letitia James in New York coming out, signing a letter to Google demanding that they wipe us off the maps. We've got 21 senators and congressmen sending another letter to Google saying that we shouldn't be able to advertise on Google. This is an all-out war on pregnancy centers, and frankly, it needs to stop. And the mainstream media is complicit. And all this, Elizabeth Warren even came out saying we need to stop these crisis pregnancy centers. This is complicity. The job of the government is to protect all people equally, to enforce the law equally. And quite frankly, these are hate crimes. Pro-life Christians are being targeted for what we believe, and it needs to stop. And these politicians need to either get out of the way or be laughed out of office.
Yeah, I don't see how that's pro-choice. It's really dominating their view. Is there any end?
It's not pro-choice.
Is there any end in sight of this? Do you expect that we'll have more violence coming?
There is more violence every day. It seems like we've got over 100 attacks now across the country, and Jane's Revenge has promised that the coming attacks are not going to be so easily cleaned up as fire and graffiti, basically claiming all-out war. It's an open season, they said, open season on pregnancy centers. Rest assured, though, Gary, that we have a team of attorneys, and we're pursuing every legal option at both the state and federal levels.
Okay, so I'm sure that will be ongoing, not just for your crisis pregnancy centers, but also for others across the country, and also pressure on our politicians. Okay, Jim Harden, President and CEO of CompassCare. Thank you, Jim, for being with us and bringing us up to date today.
It's my honor. Thanks for having me.